Okay, welcome back to the Diabetic Dad's kitchen. We're baking again today. Okay, welcome back to the Diabetic Dad's kitchen here. We're going to be making some oatmeal cookies today, coming to us from none other than Lori Zanini's Diabetes Cookbook and Meal Plan for the Newly Diagnosed. I made these cookies a couple of weeks ago. I tried them. They were a little dry for my taste, frankly. No offense, Lori. So I'm going to add a couple things in today that are not in the recipe. I'm going to add in some dark chocolate style baking chips, no sugar added. I'm going to add in some golden berries. Never heard of these before. I saw them in the store the other week, and so I picked them up. They're basically like if you would turn a clementine or an orange into a raisin. That's what we've got here. So it should be a pretty unique taste. I had some cranberries. Cranberries have a lot of sugar in them. Obviously, these do too, but their fiber content is off the charts. And so that's going to help process the sugars, complex carb, as we know. And so we'll see how this tastes. It might taste terrible, but it might taste really good. Otherwise, if it's not good, I've got some cranberries to try next time. As you can see, I've got the baking gear on. We're baking again today. Clearly, we're making cookies. I've already got the Diabetic Dad aprons, the Diabetic Dad oven mitts, the Diabetic Dad baking hats on order. If you want one, pre-order it at www.ifthiswasreal.com, and we'll see where that goes. Maybe I'll actually make some, maybe you'll actually buy some. We can give it to charity. What we're going to be doing here first, though, is putting our dry mixture together, getting our wet mixture together, mixing them all up, putting them in the oven, putting them in there for a little while, pulling them out, having a cookie or two. And so I'm just going to go preheat the oven to 350. After that, we'll get the dry mixture going, we'll get the wet mixture going, and we'll be off to the races. Hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so this is a pretty straightforward recipe. We don't need to blend anything up. We just got to scoop and dump and then mix and put in. So the first thing we're going to do in a medium mixing bowl is combine almond flour, oats, coconut, baking powder, cinnamon, salt, and mix it well. And so as far as the almond flour is concerned, we need 3/4 cup of almond flour. Again, we've got a whole assortment of Bob's Red Mill mixtures here, keeping them well funded. And so we're just going to measure out 3/4 cup of this almond flour. 1, 2, 3. Next up after that is 3/4 cups of the old-fashioned oats. 1, 2, 3. The recipe doesn't call for any protein powder, but I'm going to throw some protein powder in there for a couple reasons. 1, you can never have enough protein. 2, having that protein should help with the digestion of the carbs and the sugars. Since we are adding no sugar added chocolate chips and those golden berries, the protein shouldn't hurt. 1/4 cup of shredded unsweetened coconut. There's the coconut. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Baking powder, cinnamon, salt, and mix well. All right, pretty well mixed. Next, we're gonna make our wet mixture in a medium bowl. Combine the applesauce, egg, maple syrup, coconut oil, and mix. Stir it into the wet mixture. All right, so we're gonna need 1 egg. We're only gonna need half of one of these little cups of applesauce. We just need a 1/4 cup. And so that means we'll get to enjoy some of this applesauce all by itself for a change. That'll be nice if you want to. So here comes our 1/4 cup of applesauce. Here comes our egg. And then we need 1 tablespoon of maple syrup and 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. So I'm gonna do the coconut oil first. Grease up the skids here. 100% pure grade A maple syrup coming in next. Just gonna stir this up. Okay, that's ready to be added to the dry mixture now. So we're just gonna add it in and combine it. All right, so that's nice and combined. I'm just gonna add about 2 tablespoons of these chocolate chips and about 2 tablespoons of the golden berries. Don't wanna have too much of this in here. Again, this is just gonna add a little bit of pseudo-natural sweetness and a little bit more texture to, again, what was kind of an otherwise a little bit of a dry cookie. I'm just gonna kind of fold these in. And so then the recipe says to form the dough into little balls a little bit bigger than a tablespoon, and place them on a baking sheet, leaving at least 1 inch between them. Bake for 12 minutes until the cookies are just browned. Remove from the oven, let them sit for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll have some nice cookies. So I do have this little scooper. It's an ice cream scooper. I'm just gonna see how this works for these cookies. I feel like this is about the size that we're looking for anyway. And this is certainly keeping my hands a lot cleaner, leaving I should say my hands are gonna be pretty clean because I'm wearing the gloves anyway, but it's keeping my hands from getting like really sticky, which the first time I did this, similar when we made the cauliflower broccoli tots, it was just a little bit of a mess. And so far, I'm liking how this scooper's working. There goes the oven, so we're doing pretty good on timing right now. So my portions worked out almost perfectly. I'm wondering if maybe I would have omitted that protein powder. I would have had a little bit less mixture here. We'll see how this goes. But as you can see, we've got a nice full baking sheet here. Would have been a nice even 20. We've got 21. We'll see how these spread out. When I first made them, I let them sit in the refrigerator for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes before I put them in the oven. They kind of cook just like this. They were more like balls than cookies. But they're going in the oven, 12 minutes or so. We'll pull them out. We'll see what they look like then. See you in a couple minutes. Okay, oven is about to go off here. We're gonna pull these cookies out. Again, they didn't really bake down very much. And holy smokes. Whatever that thing is got really big. I don't know what that is. Could it be one of those golden berries? I don't know. Let's see if we can puncture it. It's definitely of a berry consistency, a fruit kind of texture there. It is one of the golden berries. Okay, so they did not appreciate being in the oven. Kind of crunchy. I don't know, these might be terrible. We'll check back in a few minutes once they cool down. They did not spread out evenly like a typical cookie would, like I would have hoped. They just kind of kept their shape. That's a lesson. I don't know, we'll see how this tastes in a cookie. Okay, these are probably still gonna be a little bit warm, but patience is not my strong suit. I like to get this kitchen cleaned up. Got a lot of stuff to do today. So I'm just gonna try one of these. This one looks to be a decent choice here. It smells good. I mean, again, it's a little bit thicker than you might want a cookie to be. Tastes good. I don't know if I got any goji berry in there though. The chocolate chip definitely helps. I'm just gonna taste this one because it does have one of those golden berries poking out. I wanna see how that flavor tastes with the rest of the cookie. There's another one in here and a chocolate chip. We're gonna get all of the flavor right here. This is what we came here for. Golden berry, chocolate chip, oatmeal cookie, one bite. Everybody knows the rules. I'm sure that's trademarked. Sorry, Prez. Put me on payroll if you want to. Honestly, it's not bad. I'm sure it's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea because that citrusy taste inside of an oatmeal cookie, but that particular bite, it was perfectly fine. I still think a cranberry flavor, raisin flavor, again, that's a natural for oatmeal cookies. The sugar content relative to the fiber content in raisins and cranberries compared to these golden berries is a little bit off. So these golden berries seem to be a little bit better for a person with diabetes. I'm not upset with these. We'll see what everybody else thinks. We'll let you know. Otherwise, I'm sure you've heard this one before, but why did the cookie go to the doctor? Because he was feeling kind of crummy. Who knows? Maybe I can get a job in a bakery if I ever need the dough. You know, which reminds me of this one guy I knew. Have you ever seen a redheaded baker before? I'm sure you have. He's in a lot of books. It's the gingerbread man. Till next time.